Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show, before the free show. We're looking at the ocean over there.
Oh, we sure are.
I like the ocean. I don't like that.
Pro-ocean.
Well, I like the mountains. I don't necessarily like the cold. And it's cold in here, so cold pictures
What do you think of that?
are unnecessary. Stinky.
Welcome to the pre-show before the free show. I got to tell you what I did last night.
Yeah, it looked cool.
So, last night, on a school night.
I was fixing to say, I was kind of shocked when I saw it.
On a school night.
I was like, oh, he's wild in the night.
Went to a concert.
Very nice.
Big concert guy now, suddenly. That's twice in like a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, my older brother, Matt, was kind enough to acquire tickets to this concert as a birthday present for me.
Nice.
And so it was myself and my wife, and it was
Is this an early birthday present or a super late birthday present?
early.
Okay.
This counts for this.
Because I was like, you're right in that awkward spot of birthday time.
And then it was my brother and my sister-in-law, who is 7.5 months pregnant. She's
Oof.
turbo pregnant at the moment. And so we got to see Ben Folds. Now, people who are familiar with me or people who watch this show or just have talked to me for more than 6 minutes know that Ben Folds is probably my all-time favorite artist.
Yeah.
He's like my number one. I've been a fan since like 97, since like
That's the year I was born.
when Whatever and Ever Amen came out,
Yeah.
when Brick was their big hit and stuff. There's just something about nerd rock that I'm into.
It's spot on.
Yes. And I have seen him before.
Okay.
Actually, this is the third time I've seen him.
Oh, nice.
But both times I've seen him, and this is a weird thing to say, but I've seen him with the symphony. So he has become, in like 2001, Ben Folds 5 broke up. I think it was amicable. They've done reunions since. But he went solo and put out a couple solo albums. He's putting out a new solo album now. But one of the things he started doing was becoming like, I'm going to start touring with symphonies. I'm going to go to your town and I'm going to do a couple of shows with your symphony. And so I've seen him a couple of times. Saw him with the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, and then I saw him with the National Symphony Orchestra in Washington. And both were great. But when you're playing with a symphony, it does kind of limit your catalog.
Yeah, it kind of dilutes it a little bit.
Because there's a lot
in
of...
a good way, but also not a good way.
Because you end up playing a lot of songs that, in my opinion, my feel is that you get a lot of the slower jams. You get a lot of that. And while they're great, I do think that they're like, one of the things I've always liked about his music is that there's a lot of energy in it. And so this was different. And so last night, we got the childcare showed up, and then we got in the car and we drove to the Kessler Theater. Now,
Which looks like it ruled. Where is that?
Alarm
Dallas?
bells. It's in North Oak Cliff.
Okay.
Alarm bells are going off for anybody who's been to the Kessler right now, because the Kessler is an excellent venue. The Kessler is small.
Yeah, it's intimate.
The Kessler is teeny-nincy, okay? And that's what was so exciting about this was, oh my gosh, you're
gonna be
never
right
going to
there.
see him in a room this small. To wit, we go in, doors open, we had standing room only tickets. We go in, we're standing and find a spot. Having a short wife and a pregnant sister-in-law really helped people like, oh yeah, we got to make sure they can see it. Like, yeah, we got to make sure they can see it.
Correct.
We got to stand there. And to wit, like, this was in partnership with KXT, which is like the local like NPR affiliated music station. Play a lot of indie rock and stuff. And so of course they have the nerdy on-air talent who comes out to introduce him and stuff, and he goes, man, I can't believe it. I can't believe we fit 435 people into the Kessler.
Holy cow.
So there are 435 people
It
here.
seems like a fire hazard.
Oh, there's no way it passed code. No way it passed code, okay? But that's how small we're talking. It is a tiny room. And so he comes out, he played for about an hour, and he was great. It was exceptional. That is the platonic ideal of a concert that I love, which is an artist that I love in too small of a room.
Yep.
Right? That's exactly what I want. He played he played songs off his new record, but then also he played like 4 or 5 other just like bangers. And a lot of songs that he hasn't been able to play with like symphonies, so I haven't been able to see him.
That's
play.
awesome. It looked cool from the video I saw.
Awesome. And the other thing that I think is great about a concert like that is everyone who's there really wants to be there.
Yes.
Because the tickets are hard to come by.
Yes.
They really want to be there. And so there's a great song that he sings called "You Don't Know Me," but he sings it with Regina Spektor. Regina Spektor was, needless to say, not there.
Mm-hmm.
So before he starts, he goes, "Okay, like if you know Regina's part, please sing it."
Yeah.
And stuff. And the whole crowd knew it.
That's awesome.
Because they're all like big fans.
Oh yeah.
And it was fantastic. The other thing that's interesting, and this will happen to you when you get older. So Ben Folds has written a lot of songs that are like dedicated to or about his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time last night, he played "Still Fighting It," and which is a great song off of "Rock on the Suburbs." He played "Still Fighting It," which is a song for his son about like when his son was born, who's now 20 something, about growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
it hits different.
as a dad, you're just like, whoa, like it just
I
hit
get it
differently.
now, yeah.
It was just like, oh, this was a great song, and now it's just like a really like meaningful
full song. Yep.
It was a great night.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
I was pumped up for you.
And I was it was a great birthday gift. I was thrilled. It was awesome. And so
I saw Matt's Instagram story
Yeah.
first, and that's how I knew that y'all
I'll
were
probably
going.
never have an experience like that. Multiple fedoras in the crowd.
Oh, there we go.
That which you could.
Uh-huh.
That the over under was 2.5, and you.
Oh yeah, you were in a theater and he was at a grand piano.
It
like
was I mean, it was gonna be.
yeah,
But it was
water is still wet.
It was a spectacular night, and
That's awesome.
And so, highly recommend if you can see one of your all-time favorite artists in an extremely small room. That'd be great. Anyway, hit the theme expo. Pickle. Hit the arrow sign. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it's Texas Football Today, a show online. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live on texasfootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, all the places, or listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part. Support your local, mediocre internet show. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. Back in the saddle after we called in Cooper Rush. She's the Duchess of the Dork. She's Ashley Pickle.
Cooper Rush won 4 games.
Mallory did great yesterday.
She always does.
Mallory did great. So
I always said I trained my replacement, which is great and bad at the same time.
I think it's great. Today is Thursday.
Get Wally pipped over here.
Thursday is May 11th, 2023. 197 days till Thanksgiving, I want to say.
Nice.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
196 days till Thanksgiving.
Oh, even better.
Happy 35th birthday to Ace Hood.
Okay.
Ace Hood, who, of course, is a 2-time BET Hip Hop Awards nominee for Best Club Banger with Hustle Hard and Bugatti. Happy 35th birthday to Mr. Hood. It's episode 1589. On today's show, folks, big show. We're going to talk with Texas High School Football Hall of Fame inductee Leonard Davis. So if you've ever wanted to see how small Mallory Hartley is compared to a number 2 overall draft pick for offensive line and a 3-time Pro Bowler, Stay tuned, Leonard Davis. Then we're going to hear from Tobias Steps. Tobias Steps is going to be in the building. He's the Lancaster offensive tackle who will be committing live in studio tomorrow at 11 o'clock right here where I'm sitting, 11 a.m. He'll be committing on Texas Football Today. And so we will hear from him as he preps us for his big decision. And then back half of the show, because we are doing the Tobias Steps commitment special tomorrow, we'll do Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday today. So if you've got questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, or anything like that, get in the comments, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll get to as many as we can coming up here at the back half of the program. But first, do we first forth through the door?
We sure do. The Ghost of Betty White. Still don't like that one. Nick Morton.
I'm sorry. We're blessed
Tony
to be...
Blaylock and Daniel Agnew. Welcome in, friends.
Welcome in, friends. And welcome to you, Ghost of Betty White. Thank you for keeping her memory alive. All right, Pickle. Last weekend, we were in Waco for the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony where Leonard Davis, former Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman and former Wortham great, was getting inducted. Before he got inducted, he got an even bigger honor, which is the ability to be interviewed by Mallory Hartley.
Correct. Here
is Leonard Davis with Mallory Hartley here on Texas Football Today.
Mallory Hartley, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, here with Leonard Davis, former Dallas Cowboy and Wortham High School offensive lineman. Now, Leonard, you played all three levels of football here in Texas, at Wortham, and then you played at the University of Texas and with the Dallas Cowboys. What was your initial reaction when you found out that you were going to be inducted into the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame, where you grew up here in Texas?
It totally caught me off guard because I didn't think. It's just something that never really crossed my mind, and you get the call, and then it's just like I'm just with a smile on my face, and then it just kind of made me immediately start kind of reflecting, like how I got to the point and all of that, but yeah, it's an honor though.
And Wortham, back in the day, was a 1A school, so the smallest classification in Texas high school football, but now they're up to 2A, which isn't much bigger. What does it mean to you that you're able to represent a Wortham community that is fairly small, but you get to represent it in such a big way?
Well, the thing is it's competition, and everything is competition, and it doesn't matter what school or how big a school you go to or you play at. It's just that whatever you do, you're playing and giving it your all the time, and you always strive to play at a high level. So regardless of whether it's at a 1A school or a 5, 6A, whatever, and it doesn't matter if you have the confidence in your ability, then you can achieve anything that you want to.
That's the message right there. Leonard, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations.
There he is, normal-sized person Leonard Davis, alongside Mallory Hartley. I told you it's like shocking.
The mini version. Yeah, and
It is shocking.
I texted y'all while that interview was going on, and I said, quite literally, if Leonard Davis was to take off his sport coat and put it on Mallory, one, you wouldn't be able to see her because it would just engulf her, but two, I genuinely think it would have hit the ground. Like, the bottom of the coat would have hit the ground.
Yes.
Insane.
He's a huge human, but also an exceptionally talented football player.
And so nice.
And so nice. And he had a great speech up there for, it seemed like the whole city of Wortham was there. Did you know he has 21 half-brothers and half-sisters?
21?
Mm-hmm. He's one of 20. He's one of 22.
Why? Wow. That's
He's the only child of his mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
But his mom had like 10 other kids and his dad had like 11 other kids.
That's crazy. I was just going to say, I would be very interested to see what their height range is, because it would be very funny if he got all of that from his dad.
Yeah.
And he is like the only massive person, and all the rest of them are just, oh yeah, the tallest one's 6'1",
But he was also such a superstar there at Wortham and obviously in the NFL as well. And at Texas, I should say, too. So a worthy inductee in the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. We appreciate his time last weekend. Let's keep this interview train rolling. Speaking of offensive linemen, And speaking of people who are going to play at the next level, our own Greg Powers has arranged this, that tomorrow at 11 o'clock, special showtime, 11 o'clock Central, God's time zone, wherever you're watching us right now, will be Texas Football Today. That'll be the Tobias Steps live in-studio commitment. A DCTF 3-star prospect is going to commit live on our air here tomorrow. We're really excited to have him in. The Lancaster offensive lineman is a rising star in the recruiting ranks, and he's going to be pulling the trigger tomorrow to tell us where he is going. You can see the live commitment in studio tomorrow on Texas Football Today. Again, special showtime, 11 o'clock. But Greg Powers went out to Lancaster to kind of set the table and to see where he's leading. Let's see if we can figure out what's going to happen tomorrow. Here is Greg Powers' conversation with Tobias Steps here on Texas Football Today.
Greg Powers, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and I'm out here at Lancaster High School with Tobias Steps, big offensive tackle whose rise has been unbelievably impressive throughout the spring evaluation period. Even before that, man, every camp I've gone to, you've been dominant. What's the whole experience been like for you, and just in general, getting these college offers and stuff? It's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm grateful. First, I thank God because I wouldn't be here without him. It's just it feels kind of overwhelming because it happened so fast, but also exciting at the same time because now I have options of where I could go and where I can spend my future at, or where I can set up for myself or my family.
So for y'all that are watching this, Tobias is going to be making his decision this Friday live on Texas Football Today at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. And offers keep steadily pouring in for you. It's got to make the decision-making process even tougher.
Somewhat, especially when they keep coming. I didn't expect it, but sometimes it gets a little overwhelming.
It's cool that you got an offer from Cal. I always look at these offers, and one of the things that jumps out to me about Cal is the fact that it's such a good academic program, and I know that academics is something that's important to you. What did that Cal offer mean to you when they stepped to you?
I mean, it meant a lot, especially academic-wise, because that's the main thing I care about. Because my goal is I want to get to engineering, either computer, software, or aerospace. So that's a very important thing to me.
Another offer that really grabbed my attention was TCU because they played for the national championship last year. They're closer to home, and I know that the Horned Frogs have got to be a relevant school for anybody in the Dallas area that picks up an offer.
Yeah, you're right. I can agree with that. So like when I first visited, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So I was just like, I hope they just talking something good, and then so that's all it is.
Texas Tech is an offer that it grabs my attention in Texas because they pull the trigger on guys who they like, and they didn't take long to pull the trigger on you after you kind of hit the camp circuit, and people really got to see your length and mobility on tape. Man, they jumped in quick.
I mean, I got respect for McGuire, and I wish them luck this season because they really did. They had me bought into the brand when I first went down there. I was really excited. Like the whole time, the whole visit, I was like, I need this offer. Like I need this offer real bad.
I see that all the time too. Whenever they're posting on their social media, they say the brand a lot. But when it comes down to it, I mean, what do you feel like? You mentioned academics. Is there anything else, like as a player, that you look for? I mean, is it a relationship with the coach, good fit with the scheme? I mean, what are some of the decision-making factors that are going to be important to Tobias Steps?
Usually I look for, like you said, fit in the scheme, development, coach relationship, and also am I still, like in my free time, will I be able to visit my family? Because I'm big on family.
Gotcha. Now, I can't let you get away without asking you about Weibo, the Tigers. You're 3/4 of the way done with spring practice. You're a senior leader on this team now. How's the team shaping up, and what can we expect out of the Tigers next fall?
I mean, you're going to expect us to dominate. We got a good team coming this year. I got faith in us. We're gonna play. We're gonna play some ball.
That's big Tobias Steps. He's going to be making his decision this Friday. Good luck as you try to sort through all those options, almost hitting that double-digit plateau with offers. I know it's got to be tough. Thanks for the time, and good luck with your 2023 season.
No problem. Thank you.
Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texas loves doing business with fellow Texans. VCR now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
The 83rd KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship, the most historic and prestigious event in senior golf, kicks off an unprecedented run of major championships coming to PGA Frisco over the next 11 years. From May 24th to May 28th, join us as the best golfers over the age of 50 compete to have their name etched on the Alfred S. Bourne Trophy. Past senior PGA champions have included true legends of the game like Sarazen, Snead, Palmer, Nicklaus, Player, and Watson. A limited number of hospitality, pro-am, and ticket opportunities remain available for you to be a part of the first major championship at PGA Frisco. And keep in mind, corporate clients and ticket purchasers at this May's KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship will receive priority access to offerings at future major championships held at PGA Frisco, including the 2025 KPMG Women's PGA Championship and the 2027 PGA Championship. Visit srpga.com for more information. Now for serious, I'm here. Thanks to Tobias Steps, who's going to stop by tomorrow to commit live on our air. Remember, 11 o'clock a.m., very special kickoff time, as we are going to welcome in Tobias Steps to commit on air. And remember, if you're a prospect and you want to commit on our air, come into our studio. It's available to you. Get in touch with Greg Powers, and we'll make that happen. All right, Pickle, let's round this bad boy out with a little helpful Honda mailbag Friday.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score on award-winning Hondas just like the rugged and reliable 2023 Ridgeline. Stop by your helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com to learn more.
Thanks, Honda. Love you,
Shout out,
Honda.
Honda.
Love you, Honda. So if you've got questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, anything you got, let us know in the comments, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll get to as many as we can. We are 2 weeks and 1 day away from sending the magazine to press.
Dun, dun, dun.
2 weeks and 1 day. If you're interested, on my computer right now, I can even show it to you. Watch, because nobody's going to be able to read it. Those are the 1A pages.
Wow.
Those are the 1A pages. So you can, if you want to see exactly what we think of this district, you can freeze frame it and zoom in. But we're working hard on the magazine. Not sleeping much, but that's par for the course. And yeah, so we're excited about it. I believe every piece of content is in with the exception of one thing.
Mm-hmm. And who is not hitting their deadline?
Yeah, listen, the person who sets the deadline, okay? That's me. I know it's a letter from the editor, and it is I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because, well, it's a couple of things. One, it's work, and who wants to do work?
Correct.
But two is I'm going to be the first person to ever write it besides Dave.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, in 2020, because of the pandemic, we weren't able to get together, and he was having technological issues, and there wasn't anybody who could come over and help him. So, like, we just talked on the phone, and I kind of transcribed it for him.
Right, but it was still Dave's words.
But it was still Dave's words, right? This is going to be the first time in the history of the magazine that anybody other than him is going to be writing for that page, and I don't want to.
Little Dave is shaking his head down there.
I don't want to do it
Yeah.
So no, yeah. Dave's like, no. He's shaking his head. He's not nodding. I promise you. So yeah, I don't know. I'm putting it off. I'll probably do it tonight.
You'll find the right words.
I don't wanna.
Well,
It's gonna suck. Everyone's gonna be like, oh,
boo this man.
look at this. Guy thinks he's Dave Campbell. It's like, promise you I don't. Yeah.
I do like when we're doing interviews with people, and every now and then they'll trip up and call you Dave.
Yeah,
I
that
always
does happen.
chuckle.
I've just gotten used to it.
Yeah.
It's got me because the thing is I have two brothers, and so I'm used to being calling Matt and Jeff.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, yeah, okay.
Those are
Just
literally
understand.
all 4-letter words. I never
Yeah.
realized that. Matt, Jeff, Greg,
They're all
Dave.
They're all
Four-
and they're all shortened
Yep.
to 4 letters.
Yep.
David, Gregory, Matthew, and Jeffrey. Yeah.
Jeffrey.
So they're all 4 letters that have been shortened from longer names.
I didn't know Mr. Dave was actually David.
David.
I did not know that. Huh.
But I don't think anybody called him David.
No.
His mom called him David. His grandma.
I'm really glad that he
David
decided
Campbell,
to,
you get over here.
I'm glad that he decided to shorten it to Dave, because David Campbell's Texas football.
David just feels more like Dave and David feels like the same kind of gap between Hank and Henry.
Yes.
Like
It's like how did you
it's
actually
like, oh,
get
this is
there?
David.
Yeah.
David, as opposed to it's Dave. And then it's like,
Oh, it's Henry.
oh, it's hello Henry.
I feel
as
like
opposed
you
to-
need a monocle.
as opposed to just Oz Hank.
Yeah,
know.
it's the monocle.
Anyway, so we're working on the magazine. Go to texasfootball.com/subscribe to get it mailed to you before it hits newsstands. So go do that. And Mother's Day Sunday.
Yes.
Mother's Day Sunday. Don't screw this up.
Correct.
Don't screw this up. Do we have any questions from the people?
Yeah. What do you think the chance that Port Neches Groves make it back to the state game?
It's funny you mention that because I just read their preview yesterday because I was laying out 5A pages. I like this team. They have some holes to fill, especially at receiver and especially in the secondary. And that it would be my concern. They've got QB1. Shea Adams is back. And he's a star, and he's fully capable of just putting him on their back. But we have to see that development in those two, in the passing game, both sides,
Well, 'cause
wide receiver and secondary.
Yeah, if you think back to what got them against South Oak Cliff, it was those two. Like, with the massive amount of talent that they had last year, that was still the part that fell through a little bit in the state championship game. So it's like,
But
that's a big hole.
So like they lost. So this is we did a segment on Math Tuesday about returning starters, right? This is a team that lost 40 seniors. Okay,
Jeez.
40 seniors. Okay, that's a lot.
Especially when you went to the state championship the year before.
Right. And so the challenge for Jeff Joseph is going to be to kind of rebuild them on the fly. It certainly helps that you're going to have the quarterback. Like, that is a great place to start. Good idea. Start with him. But they're going to have to fill in, I think, 3 spots on the offensive line. They got to find some wide receivers, and they've got to have the secondary come about. The good news for them is that I look at Region 3, and, like, their toughest test is within their own district. It's Fort Bend Marshall.
Absolutely.
Like, in my opinion. Montgomery Lake Creek's going to be pretty good. There's a couple teams in District 11. I don't foresee District 12, which is the Austin ISD, like with LBJ. I think LBJ is going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be as good as they have been. And even with the coaching change, Cal throws more flux into that. And so, to me, they're on the short list. Probably Marshall, P&G, Lake Creek.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bullish on Belton in Region 3. That's a team to keep an eye on, or a team like Leander Rouse, although they have to replace Mason Shorb. I don't know. There is no reason that they couldn't make that run. And then also, look, they went to the regional semifinal, or the state semifinals last year, and they played Liberty Hill. Now, Liberty Hill, of course, was banged up, but they slowed down the slot T. And, like, Jeff Joseph is a defensive whiz. So, like, they've proven they can do it. I mean, I think this is me. I think Liberty Hill's the favorite in Region 4 until somebody beats them, basically. And so that is, to me, like, the path is there. They have to answer the questions that I have in the affirmative. And if they do that, then they're right back in the mix. Like, that's the question. Now everybody's got holes to fill. But I think that right now they're on the short list in Region 3. I think Region 3 is going to be even to a slight favorite over Region 4, depending on how Liberty Hill kind of develops, because they were hit hard by graduation as well. So, yeah, I think they're in the mix. Is that a long answer to a short question?
Goodness, yes.
Yeah. Like I said, I just read their capsule yesterday because I was laying it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The DCTF crew has taken road trips to El Paso and the RGV the last 2 years.
Mhm.
Which one was your favorite? That's like
what a rude,
choosing between
what a rude question.
the best thing you've ever had and the other best thing you've ever had.
What a
like,
rude question.
They were just
So
different experiences because the El Paso one will always, I feel like, hold a special place because it's the first time we ever took a DCTF editorial trip.
And even though the stadium down there in the RGV was great, like
R.R. Jones
that was a
bucket
bucket list stadium.
Yeah.
Right? But the food in the RGV
was unbeatable.
Was out of control.
Yeah. Like
out of control.
I don't know how you're supposed to get me to choose between L&J's and then what was the name of the taco place was?
We went after the game. Where Steph got the bonus hot dog.
Oh, that was really good. I was talking about the breakfast tacos that y'all brought back.
Mm-hmm.
Anita's.
Mm-hmm. Anita's. I don't know. Like you.
Those are two of my most favorite parts of the state.
This. Right now, we're finalizing our plans for where this year's road trip is going to be. And they're on opposite ends of the state.
Yes.
But we
knocked out the two just bangers at the start.
Yeah. And so now, like, the bar has been set. And
you call me Miss 915 and Miss 956 together. Like, I can't step bad Matthew. Matthew has a different question that's better. Should I ask that one?
So I'll just say that they were so different, but they were both excellent.
Yes.
Is that an appropriately political answer?
I agree.
Good. Okay, what's next?
Matt's other question was, hello, TFT heroes.
Hello.
My question is, do either of you have cool summer vacation plans coming up? Thanks for your courage.
Yep. You can go first. Do you have summer vacation plans?
I do. Two of mine and my boyfriend's best friends are getting married in Cabo.
San Lucas? Oh, I don't know if you meant like Cabo, Missouri.
Does that exist?
No.
I mean, there's a Paris, Texas, so I guess like
I was gonna say,
fair.
Yeah.
There's a London in Texas too, but no, Cabo in Mexico. And so we're heading out to Cabo for a week with like all of our best friends. So it's hard to get better than that. I'm incredibly excited.
There's an Athens, Texas. There's a Rome, Texas. There's a Dublin, Texas.
Yeah, we just kind of took all the names and scattered them across the state.
Tokyo. I made that up. I've actually got a fair amount of plans. After we send the magazine to press in 2 weeks, I'm going to be off for a week because I'm going to be working at a camp. But then I'm going to come back. You may remember last year, the fateful right before coaching school.
Yes.
It was my wife and I's 10th anniversary, and we were planning on going to Napa Valley for our 10th anniversary, and then all of our children got coronavirus.
Yeah, I was in Mexico when I got the text from you saying, hey, and I was like, oh, no.
So we also missed Craig Way's wedding.
Yeah.
So it was just super cool. Anyway, we're running that back. We're doing that in June.
Good. Okay,
we're running
awesome.
that back. We're doing that in June. And then, this is breaking news, I suppose, because it just got finalized. We're taking the kids to the beach.
Nice. Let's go, Port A.
Port A.
Let's go. You know I love Port A. I can give you all the recommendations in the world. I'll make a whole list for you. Oh, that's so exciting.
Going to Port A.
Okay, when
July.
is it? Okay.
Early August, first week in August.
Okay, I was just going to say, because there's a good shot that I ended up down there with my family in July.
I don't want to see you.
Good. I don't want to see you either.
No.
I would love to see Hank on the beach, though. I would. That would be fun. But
yeah, we booked it. My wife's folks are coming down, and we're going to go to, we're all going to drive down to Port A.
That's awesome.
So we're going to do that.
Yeah, I think
that's kind of our big summer trip.
Yeah, I think I've got in July, like, river trip with friends leading down into a little family beach thing and then back up.
Yeah, you're going to ride the river down to the beach.
That is my actual plan.
Yeah, and then, of course, we'll have I get to go to College
Station, correct.
I get to go to Houston.
Correct.
For coaching school.
Man, I got to tell you, I cannot wrap my brain around the fact that coaching school is not in San Antonio because I've never been to a coaching school that has not been. I've only been to 2 coaching schools, and they've both been in San Antonio.
Right.
So I don't, like, me, Mallory, and Will have never been to a coaching school that has not been down in San Antonio. So it's like, I can't even picture
it. It's
it.
in Houston this year. It's been a couple years. Pre-COVID, it's been there. It hasn't been in Houston. So excited to go down there. It's a good scene. I think I used to really not like going to coaching school in Houston. But they have done a really good job of developing the area around the convention center. Because the thing about San Antonio that's so great is that you go to your hotel and then you can just walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Anything you'll ever need is within walking distance. That was not the case in Houston for a long time.
And that's just when you've got a big staff, it's hard to get everybody places on time.
In cars
and Ubers and
Although,
all of that.
have you ever been to Spanish Flowers?
No.
Might be going to Spanish Flowers.
Nice.
Spanish Flowers is a Max Thompson joint.
I figured. I've heard of y'all talk about it.
No, that was, I want to say was it Adam Coleman? Who used to work for the Houston Chronicle. Now I think he works for the Athletic. But he was the one who turned us on. There's one it's up in the Heights, and it is top 3 Mexican food restaurant.
Let's
for
go.
Me. It's great. It's really good.
We
went there.
We always go to Lopez, but that's down that's far.
We have to drive.
Yeah.
We'd have to drive to the Heights, but it's very good.
I like the Heights.
And then maybe we can do Breakfast Club. You ever done the Breakfast Club? I also went there with Adam Coleman. Adam Coleman's just kind of my sensei.
Yes. Yes, I have done the Breakfast
Club is excellent.
I spend quite a lot of time down in Houston, so.
That's right. Okay, do we have any more, or are we done?
We got one more for you.
Okay, here's an ender.
What would be the title of your memoir? You're a headline guy, so I expect this to be good.
Sorry.
Period.
No, it'd be called My Bad.
Mine would be like the when old girl starts having issues and she shuts down, it's just the colon and then like the parentheses where it's a sad face. That would be mine.
My dad's always said that he's like, whenever I go on my tombstone, it's just gonna say he tried.
He tried.
Mine
would just be like dead battery, like battery finally died.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that would probably
battery empty.
Gonna do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Remember, tomorrow 11 a.m. live.
Angel or in Hell Verdero.
Angel Verdeo. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Angel who showed. Right.
Yeah.
He was the one. It was Coleman took us to the Breakfast Club, and Angel took us to Spanish Flowers.
Nice.
Thank you for the correction.
Yes.
That's going to do it for us. Remember, 11 o'clock tomorrow. Special early time. We'll have Tobias Steps committing live on our air here from Lancaster. We will see where he ends up pulling the trigger. So make sure you tune in 11 o'clock for our commitment special here on Texas Football Today. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Leonard Davis and Tobias Steps, who we'll see tomorrow, for being our guests. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow. 11 o'clock, Tobias Steps Commitment Special, Texas Football Today.